Have you ever built a full application with a tutorial on YouTube or platform like Udemy, only to find yourself unable to write a single line of code immediately the tutorial is done? Well, if you face this situation and kind of wondered why you are stuck, you are not alone. All of us has passed through this phase. But not to worry, there is a way out. In this video, we're going to explore the possible ways by which we can escape this dangerous plight called tutorial hell and progress from planning to coding to production with confidence. Hello, my family. My name is Kelvin Okoye, and this is CS Free, where everything tech is free. Let me be honest, tutorial hell is no joke. It's a real struggle that traps many new developers, and I've been there myself. For nearly 2 years, I felt stuck, overwhelmed by endless tutorials without seeing real progress. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was stuck with this plight, buying one course to another, watching thousands, millions of tutorials on YouTube, building amazing portfolio projects. But at the end of the videos, I don't know what I did in those tutorials, in those projects. I couldn't explain the code I wrote myself. But if you come to my project catalog, I have millions of projects that I've built, but I never built any without the aid of a tutor. It was so bad. It's something I don't want to remember. But I'm making this video just in case you are in this phase and you feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed. You can't even recall the things you've learned. You can't even practice the things you've learned. You can't even start up a project yourself. And maybe now you feel down. You feel this tech something, it's not for you. I want to tell you that every person you know has passed through this phase. It's a pattern that gets to reach everybody. I faced it during my own turn. Mine was really bad because I've done this for like 2 years and I couldn't even build a simple navigation bar. I couldn't even structure HTML page. I could remember a day it was my turn. I had a team. It was my turn to teach a code. It was my turn to lead the code section. I was meant to teach HTML and CSS, just to teach the younger ones, as we claim they we are then, the fun side of technology. And 3 hours into the whole learning process, I was struggling to come up with a simple navigation. But how interesting this could be! This is somebody that has done technology for the past 2 years. And at some point, everybody in the class had to sleep off. And I was reaching out, nobody answered. By the grace of God, one boy answered, and I'm like, why are you guys sleeping in the class? Wake every other person. He had to put a call across, and every other person got up. And I was still asking, why are you sleeping on the live class? And one boy replied and said, um, I think we overestimated or maybe over anticipated the class. That is why we are all disappointed, because I mean, that was what he replied me with. And with shame covered in my eye, I couldn't even say a word. I was just dumbfounded. I had to switch off my internet, pretending I lost my connection. Just I can leave the meet and go cry about my life. But something told me that boys don't cry. That boys take action. And I got up on my feet and I said, am I the only one facing this? I had to check, and I discovered I wasn't the only person facing it. It's a pattern that gets to reach every other person. So I'm like, okay, since I wasn't the first person, that means something can be done, right? And I said, okay, Let's get to work. And here we are today, by the grace of God, teaching other people, sharing our knowledge with every other person on the planet. So the $1,000,000 question is, how do things turn around for me? What was the measures I took? And how can you also come out of this dangerous plight, tutorial hell? So what is tutorial hell? Tutorial hell is a state where developers consume endless tutorials without gaining practical skills needed to build projects independently. You keep on doing what? You keep on learning. You can't even recall what you've learned. You can't build projects independently. That's the whole goal of what? Of being an IT person. Coming up with an idea, plotting it, going whiteboarding, doing everything, know how many databases that application needs, know the whole what, the whole stack of the application. Come up with it yourself, provide solution. That's the essence of being an IT person. If you can't do any of these, that means you are stuck in a pensive tutorial hell with no break statement. You have to implement the break statement yourself. You have to pull out of that plight yourself. So this is what the meaning of tutorial hell. You only write when the tutor writes, and you stop when the tutor stop. Even when you write something that the tutor writes and there is a bug, you can't even fix it because you don't even know what is happening. That is where I get to hear, I wrote exactly what the tutor wrote, but now it's not working on my own machine. There is a bug. How can I fix this bug? You don't even know because you're just replicating what the tutor gave you, but you fail to understand that there is way more to what you are seeing. It comes from the brain. You now understand what tutorial hell is, right? What are the causes of tutorial hell and how can you get out of this plight? Now, first of all, is that you rely solely on tutorials. That was never the intention. Now, listen to me. You don't have to write code when the tutor is teaching. This will trick your mind so bad. Do you know what you are meant to do? You are meant to just be learning. Have your notes. Look at me. I have my notes over here. Do you see? This is Python. This is what? This is C. This is what? This is where I learn what? I learn data structures and algorithm. Can you see? And this is where I get to what? Jot things down when I'm learning. Can you see? Can you see? All of these books over here are for what? Just for coding. When I was learning, I don't get to what? I don't get to repeat what the teacher is doing. It was never the plan. Just do what? Just get your pen and paper. This is my pen and paper. What can you do? Once the tutor is teaching, follow the tutor's instruction. Just listen, pay a rapt attention. Don't do anything. Just have your pen and your paper and write things down. Okay, the tutor made use of this package in the project, write the package down. The tutor made use of a library, write the library down. At this point, the tutor introduced new concept like maybe let me say you don't know about Ajax core or you don't know about how to work with API, write it down. After writing all of these things down, when a tutorial is done, what do you now have to do? You have to go and read about all of these concepts. After reading about it, then start building the application. Then now, if you get stuck, make reference to the video. Now, listen to me. You are making a reference. You're not copying. It's allowed for anybody to ask question when you get stuck, right? So if you get stuck, make reference to the video. You know, okay, this is how the tutor did this. Okay, I'm gonna have to like change it and get something to like this to get working. You understand? Don't rely solely. This will trap your brain to what to tutorial hell. You understand what I'm saying? Make sure to always jot down, jot down. These days, I watch 10 hours videos of what building an application, and I will never get to build that application on the live section. After watching the whole 10-hour video, it might take me like maybe 2 weeks, depending on how free I am. Maybe 2 weeks, I will just be watching it, but I have my pen and my paper. But once the tutor is done, I do what? I get to what? Build it myself. That is the main goal. That is where you learn. That is where your brain gets stressed out. Because now you encounter bug, you fix the bug yourself. Another crucial point that will get you in a serious tutorial hell is what? Lack of understanding and lack of patience. These two points work hand in hand. Now, what do I mean by lack of understanding? Most videos on YouTube will never get the opportunity, or most tutors will never get the opportunities to go into details of what is happening in this project. They don't have the whole time on earth, and even you, the viewer, don't have all the whole time on earth to sit down and watch a 100-hour video explaining a concept, right? That is why all the whole video is kind of what is kind of on the surface. It's just what? It's just to get you going. Now, a tutor will tell you, okay, get this, get that, and this project is working. And you just what? You just blindly copy every single thing and paste without a proper understanding of what this is doing, how is this working, why is this so. You always have to ask the why behind the how. Always ask, why do we take this approach? Could there be a better route? How about I do something like this? Is it going to break the code? What about if I change the implementation of this code? Is it still going to work? You always have to ask that question. Try to understand every single line of code you write. That is what makes you a developer. When you blindly copy everything that the tutor tells you, you don't know what it's doing. You can't even debug the code. That is the problem. When the code breaks in the future, you can't debug it because you don't understand what is happening. Over there, you just copied what the tutor was teaching you, what the tutor wrote. But when you have a proper understanding of what this code is doing, whenever it gets to break in the future, you just have to look at it. If this is so and this is so, this might be the reason why this code is what is breaking, and you get to fix it. So try to understand. Always ask the why behind the how. Any single line of code your tutor writes, make sure you understand why it chose this route and try to see if there could be a better way to improve the functionality of that project. That is the only way you can get better. And another thing is that lack of patience. You don't have so much time to waste. You just want to what? You just want to get this project going. You just want to make sure you build all this whole application under a week. You want to show off to your guys. Look at the application I built. All those things are not necessary. If you are showing off all of these things and you don't have a proper understanding, in the future it will hit you. That is not the main goal. The main goal is for you to understand and build something. So no matter how long it's going to take you, make sure you understand. If I tell you how long I read a particular concept just for me to get something going, I spend like months just understanding the foundations of any concept I want to learn. But the thing is, once I understand the foundation, everything is with speed, with alacrity. I'm moving fast. Now you see that anybody that is even at the top, I will still match up with them because now my foundation is very, very solid. That is the reason why. That is the only way you can get out of tutorial hell. Having proper understanding, knowing what you are doing. You understand what I'm saying? Don't write when the tutor is writing or is teaching. Always make sure to understand, have patience, thrive to understand the why behind the how. That is the end goal. It's not about building the next big project or building the most fun project or on GitHub. That is not the essence. The essence is what? Building the project, understanding the project, and teach others the project, and also defend the project. Does it make sense? Another thing is you shy away from challenges. You don't want to get into the bigger projects. You are only going on the petty sides. Yeah, the petty sides are okay, but what after building the petty side, challenge yourself. That is the only way you can become a true mastery on this. Challenge yourself. Give yourself that most difficult project. And what? It's not about challenging yourself. It's about after challenging yourself, make sure to keep the wit and finish that project regardless of how difficult it is. Make sure other people doing it don't have double heads. They have same heads as we have. So make sure to finish it. Does it make sense? Try to put everything you learn in practice. Challenge yourself. And what? Don't have fragmented knowledge. If you start a tutorial, make sure to finish that tutorial. Don't be a fan of fancy thumbnail. Don't keep on clicking every single thumbnail you see on a particular concept because this thumbnail is very, very beautiful. Let me try it out. That way you're going to have what? You're going to have fragmented knowledge. Make sure to finish one tutorial before jumping to another. Even when you have to touch another, make sure that you are done with this, but you want to still know how this person did this and maybe like kind of get another overview of that same concept. That way you are adding to your knowledge, but you're not what? You're not scattering your knowledge. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? This is the only way you can get better and get out of this plight called tutorial hell. My brothers and my sisters, tutorial hell is a common struggle for many developers, but understanding its causes and applying strategic moves can help you break free. Focus on understanding what you are learning. Make sure to know the why behind the how. Make sure to know the reason why you are writing every single line of code. Have patience. Don't rely solely on the tutor and do what and challenge yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. And don't forget, practice, practice, practice. That is the only way you can move from what? Passive learning to active development. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech content. And you can also share your own experience or questions in the comment section, and I will be right there to answer all of them. And remember, this is CS free.